Hello everyone, my name is Veronica. I'm from Northern California, and today I'm going to be talking to everyone here about why I voted Republican for the first time in 2016. I don't know where to start, but I've always been a Democrat ever since I can think of. I'm in the millennial generation. I'm 30 years old, and ever since I can think of, up until 2016, I've always voted Democrat. Actually, that's a stretch. I've thought about voting Democrat up until I was 18 because in my high school, we were influenced about the idea of voting Democrat, and that if we didn't vote Democrat, what would we do pretty much? We could not just not vote at the time. We were told that the Republican Party did not abolish slavery. We were told that the Democrat Party was the superior choice, pretty much. And what's interesting is that although we were told that Obama was the better choice, we didn't know that the idea of bureaucracy at the time was going to happen. I didn't have the thought of actually looking at literature being written by people such as Mark Levin. It never occurred to me because we've always took it for granted that the people that told us to vote Democrat, that we never thought, or it never occurred that they were going to be lied to from the media that told them to vote Democrat. I voted for Obama for the first time in 2012, and I was 19 years old. I was so proud of myself, and unfortunately, it never occurred to me that those 4 years preceding 2012 would backfire. And it never occurred to me that in 2016, I would be voting Republican for the first time. In 2015, my parents were just waking up, actually. My mom and dad told me in August of 2015 that Trump was running for president, and I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I honestly did not know what to think at the time. I was just studying at Cal State Fullerton at the time, studying towards my business and management bachelor's degree, and living with my parents at the time. Every time that I would visit my parents, and living at the time in American Canyon, California, my dad would set me down listening to talk radio. I would listen to Sean Hannity. I would listen to Rush Limbaugh. Later on, maybe 2 years later along the road, I started listening to Mark Levin. But the one speaker that I did listen to on talk radio that actually had me truly figuring out what was happening in our society, politically speaking, of course, is Rush Limbaugh. Everything that he said made sense. I didn't know why I did not listen to him beforehand when I was a Democrat. Maybe I was just too caught in a bubble. I wanted to believe that what the people in my circle in college was making sense. I didn't want to believe that they were trying to throw me in some sort of agenda. I wanted to believe that what they were doing was sincere, that they were actually truly empathetic. Well, were they empathetic? Moving forward, I want to say the one thing that, if it's one thing that I learned waking up, was that the media was spewing lies as well. In August of 2015, I watched the debates for the Republican Party and noticed there was also one other thing. There was infighting between one candidate to the other. Whether it was Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, they all did not want Trump to be president. And I was so confused and furious at the same time. I wanted to know why they were doing that infighting at the time. But they're still doing that now, amazingly, ironically. But what I'm going to say is this. It didn't take me until the end of that year, 2015, to actually think about what's happening and to catch up on the rallies that Trump had at the time, to consider researching what's happening with the media, why the media is spewing lies, what the Republican Party is truly all about. Because what the Republican Party is truly all about is pro-life, saving our kids, small government, low taxation or minimal taxation, we the people, saving our country to the better, no bureaucracy whatsoever. So I'll fast forward to June of 2016. I went to my first Trump rally in Sacramento. When I learned that his words did not match the words that and the clips that the mainstream media had presented to us from the TV screens, I was elated. I was happy because what Trump was saying at the time when he was running for presidency, when it didn't match the clip of the mainstream media, it proved that Trump was genuine, that he was for the people, with the people, and that he was for all walks of life. He cared for the American citizens. He cared for saving our country, getting rid of all the horrible bureaucracy that had been caused throughout many years with Bush, with Obama, but mainly with Obama. And so when I voted Republican for the first time in June of 2016, I voted for Trump during that year. That was the first time that I realized that I want to be fully committed with researching with what's happening in our country. Up until the end of 2016, I would consistently watch the Trump rallies. And I didn't care what people thought of me, like when I was watching the rallies. I didn't even really care about what my supposed friends at the time really said about Trump. I wanted to vote for Trump because I knew that in my mind, Trump was the only possible solution to saving our country. That's what I thought at the time. During those 4 years, 2017 to 2020, I was able to realize what freedom was truly all about. 2020, I had to really wake up further to realize that with COVID that was happening, the mandate and the pandemic that was happening, I had to figure out how to fill that void, which is the emptiness inside of me, because there were so many restrictions that was happening in 2020. I had to figure out, what do I do? How do I get rid of this emptiness that I have inside of me? Well, I have to stand up for our rights, our medical freedom in 2020. I had to realize this is our country, and if we don't stand up, if we remain complacent, no one else is going to save this country but ourselves. People are working. I get that. I am as well. But it's all about us, we the people that live in this beautiful country that is called America. And for me, as a 30-year-old, I anticipate on having a family one day, and I want to be able to save this country for the better of our kids, because I know deep down, these kids do not want to see this world in bureaucracy any longer. They want to have freedom too. So with that, that's my story. I'm hoping that there's some silver lining that some of you have received from this testimonial. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, you can most definitely do so. You can reach out to me via Instagram at simplyronnie_20, and my name on The top of my Instagram page is Veronica Sullivan, or you can reach out to me on Facebook as well with the same name. And I hope everyone here has a blessed day. I believe that we also need to pray and every day be closer to God, be closer to Jesus, but also be close to our family as well. Know that there is a higher power that will be there for us no matter what. But not only with the power of prayer to Jesus and God, and when we help out our family, we also have the power to get out there and vote, but also to stand up for our principles as well. When there is a will, there is a way. Thank you so much for watching.